everybody, and welcome to this episode of Let's Build in The Sims 4. Let's build up Newcrest to be more precise. And we start today off with some makeovers of the Goth and the Caliente family. So if this isn't your thing, feel free to skip ahead to the 8-minute mark or thereabouts, and because that's when the actual building starts. I did all of this in one day, so there's a lot of stuff. And that's also kind of why this video is so long, just because there's a whole bunch of things going on in here. It's got 3 parts: this part, the build part, and a little bit of some playing part. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm gonna have to get a lot of music to fill in the background on this one, because most of my videos here so far have been, I don't know, about 10 to 12 minutes. Somewhere in that range, sometimes 20 minutes. Yeah, that's a lot easier to add music for than 45. I've also been kind of trying to put this off a little bit because I was like, I'm gonna have to talk for such a long time. What am I even going to talk about? I mean, I already did that one BuzzFeed rant. I think I should only be allowed like 1 rant in a video per lifetime, and I've already done that, so or maybe for just like quite a while. And another thing that's really weird that happened was I thought, oh, maybe I can get my sister to help me with this video. Maybe she can be someone to talk with, and we can find some cool things to talk about. Then I realized she's at Dad's house. So. Oh. No commentary from my sister. Alas. But we'll find ways to hang out, won't we? I'm just making sure that everybody in this game is kind of a little bit more retroified. We just got finished with the Goth sisters. Changed Alexander into Alexandra. I know, but I have a plan. For these people, which is why the change. And you guys are probably sick of seeing that one outfit being used for every athletic wear, but I'm sorry. What can I say? I tried to make Don Lothario look a bit different. Make him less of a Lothario. No. I have him get married to Katrina in here, and yeah, she's probably going to be pretty quick. I don't know if any of you guys will like the makeover I gave Katrina, but she took some inspiration from Marilyn Monroe. So there's a lot of white floaty dresses and things like that. I don't know if I sound kind of sleepy or not. I mean, it's okay not to have to talk every single second. Sometimes it's just nice to sit back, relax, and just look at what's going on without being just, talked at every few seconds like I'm doing. every single second doesn't have to be filled with noise. But I feel like I should be talking anyway. I don't know. I really liked Dina's makeover. She's probably the second favorite makeover that I did. My absolute favorite was the makeover I gave to Tina. Hers was relatively simple, and you're gonna see it in just a moment. Yeah, I like to think that Dina is part Twiggy, part Priscilla Presley. So, lots of big hair. Certain outfits. I like that formal wear. It's very Jackie O. It's like, okay. Yeah, she still has some big hair when she's working out. It's just a little bit messier. Not all of my Sims really match each other, I guess. But I think that's kind of okay. It lends to a very eclectic, anachronistic feel that I've said a million times. So yes, this is Nina. Favorite makeover. Probably because it's so very simple for her. I think she looks like a screen siren from the 40s or something like that. So there's a lot of smoky eyes and red lipstick. And the bustier, yeah, that thing, whatever it's called. So what do you guys think of the little makeovers? Should I, and the create a sim things, should I keep them in or should I leave them out? Please tell me in the comments section down below. Nina's party hat sort of thing, party outfit, was inspired by Marlene Dietrich. So, yep, there they are, big old family. And this is the part where I make a lot after I do a little bit of screen capping for these for my blog, which I should have linked in the description below. If you want to check that out, it contains a lot of little stories and things like that, little extras you don't get to see in the video, and I highly recommend checking that out. Putting some finishing touches on the families here, getting some pictures. Doing that eye thing. Yes, and so I finally figured out how to do a little trick. It's called cast clock speed, and you type in a value from 0 to 9, and you can spin up the animations for your scenes in there. I mean, you can either slow or speed it up or stop it. This is the build. I originally wanted it to face the street because that's what most houses do. They face the street. But because this lot is so narrow, I had a hard time fitting things in, so I couldn't get the dimensions I wanted, and it just didn't end up looking right. And you'll see that after I do several carnations. And also, this house is entirely based on that dollhouse right there in front. It's probably been done a million times before, but I wanted to try my hand at recreating that, and I haven't really done this style of architecture before. but I find that reference really helped. And I think I ended up with a really interesting looking building. I usually like to do the shape first, so some people like to do an individual wall or something like that. I'm more of a shape first, then everything else. So I guess it's form then function for me. Well, in this regard, after I get done with doing the outside, make the inside usable. So yeah. Thought maybe I'll have some double roofs up here to allow for more space for the windows on the very top. But yeah, I ended up deciding against it just because it wasn't working. And we have that roof thing that I like to do because I don't have any conical roofs. You kind of have to work with those like that. And gosh, I tried to... This is the part where I was like, okay, how am I gonna do this little roof here? Then I finally discovered those types of roofs work really well if you use half gables. Or, yeah, I ended up using not half gables, half hipped roofs. So they work really well. I mean, I tried a bunch of things at first, but then I eventually got it, and I was super pleased with the result. I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize this was possible. Here I am trying to remember the cheats to allow you to do whatever, and that's enable free build. That's so you can, yeah, build what you want. It's kind of difficult to remember all the cheats just because there are so many. There's so many cheats. Stupid Benadryl. Like this morning, allergies, I was dying. Well, not really, but felt like I was dying. My nose was really stuffed up and all of that, so again, that whole Benadryl conundrum. Do I take this allergy medicine, which works really well? Nothing else I've tried works better. And then just become totally sleepy? Or do I just, suffer? And inevitably, I'd rather be sleepy than suffer from whatever it is that's causing things. And those allergy forecasts, they always seem to be wrong about pollen or whatever. Or maybe I'm totally allergic to something else. Because it says, oh, the pollen's not too bad today. Why am I dying of just, then? It goes, I don't know. Super annoying. Oh, that's gonna be like the phrase we use today. Also, I tried to connect things there that just was not working. So you just copy paste these little rooms here with a button that looks like two sheets or roofs. Ugh. Things are turning out to look really snazzy, and I just love the way this build turned out. I know that I pretty much say this for every time I build something, but yeah, I like it way more than my Greek revival. My sorry Greek revival attempt behind it. I don't know if this neighborhood really goes with itself. tried. I think it'll look better once I add in some foliage and things like that. It took a while to get the proper gate or fence type around there, and I ended up doing these balustrade fences because they have the nice little, I don't know what you call it, those little thingies that's in between the fences that look very teardrop shaped. They seem to go really well. Was pretty neat. And I'm glad I stumbled on a color scheme that I really like. This gray and white and black. I guess it's kind of grayscale. It's hard to go wrong using a monochromatic scheme. So yeah, the exterior was a lot of fun. I think I enjoy building the exteriors a little bit more than the interiors just because, I don't know, I'm really amazed at how far I've come since the first time I built a house like this. I'm amazed at how far I've come even within building this little neighborhood here. And I'm really thankful I had a reference and was able to just figure this stuff out. Not be bound by so many little necessities. This house was originally intended to be a farmhouse, as you can see by the little, or that's what the original plan was, to have it be as a farmhouse, but I changed my mind because I wanted to build that dollhouse. I was like, how am I gonna get the little spikes on top of it? I tried to do a fence, as you saw like a minute ago, but I went with these little thingies instead. So they took a really long time because it's even slow when this is at 10 times speed. It's slow getting these in there and making sure they're perfect. I put a couple on these little roofs out here. Thought maybe I'll add another spire, but it just sticks out too much. Next is the door and then some windows, and I'm kind of glad that this one isn't as ivy heavy because that was all that ivy. I'm kind of tired of all that ivy. Although there are quite a few plants and trees just dotted around the place when I get to the landscaping, which is probably the last one. I don't know why I tend to do landscaping last. I think I just get so excited after I finish the exterior of a building that I'm like, oh, time to change the interior now. Woo! Sorry, I'm distracted here. There are a bunch of bees outside the window. I mean, they're outside, thankfully. They're just buzzing around there. I'm in the kitchen right now of my house, and there's these windows. you said. Just buzzing. I don't know where the hive is out there, or where they're trying to build something. We always have trouble with bees in September. They're like really, really busy in September, probably because they're trying to get ready for the winter while it's still warm out. Just buzzing around. Here I'm making this little prison type room. I wanted to see if I could have a sim survive in this little tiny room. So it ended up with just a sink, a toilet, a cooler, and a bookshelf and a desk, and a journal. So I was able to fit all of that in this tiny, tiny room. And I think all the objects are usable too. Yesterday there was this big old bee that flew into our house. My mom was trying to let the dog in, and suddenly this bee just flew in. And then, gosh, I hid in my sister's room because my sister was at school. I was just like, no, get away from me, bee. And I wrote her a little letter that said, help me, we're being attacked by a bee. If you find this note, it's probably too late. Help. So yeah, she's able to get into the bed, and I did some final adjustments. I thought maybe I'll put a computer in here since I gave Alexandra the writing thing. But yeah, I wasn't gonna do that. I gave her a journal instead. Coming up, there'll be this part where I kind of jump ahead in the build process, but that's just, yeah, that's because I forgot something. I forgot something. I forgot to turn the thing on. Sorry. Like, what did I forget? I know it was something, but I keep on. It's at the tip of my tongue. Or I'm like kind of losing my thought halfway through. Stupid allergy medicine. Make it so I can't breathe. Those bees out there, I wish you could see them. It's just... I'm glad there's a pane of glass between us, but I feel safe in the kitchen. As for yesterday's bee, Mom sprayed it. It died, but then we don't know where the bee's body ended up. I don't know, maybe it was able to escape somehow. It's very possible. I haven't seen it. I was like, oh gosh, what if it's on the sofa? What if I sit down on the sofa and the bee's there? What do? It's like terrifying. So yep, this is where I skipped ahead. I was like, oh, I did a gym here and see, there's a gym. And I finished up that one room, added a light in there. We're back, everybody. I'm sorry about that. I had to check things. Not that you'll see that, because it'll probably be cut out and lost to the ether. Ooh, whoa, spooky. But yeah, trying to make sure that I had the noise in, and I always get rid of it before not always, I've been trying to get rid of that before I actually have the episode, just because it might get on you guys' nerves. But when I'm editing this, I usually watch back the footage and have this little cartoony sound in, so I know that it's time to shut up, chatty Kathy, and get the show on the road. This one will probably have a lot of music in it. I hope I find some good music. Oh, last time I've just been using the in-game soundtrack, so that's pretty good, but sometimes you need something a little bit different. Of course, I don't want to have the same music playing all the time. I mean, if it's from the game, you don't have to worry so much about things like copyright. Not that I don't try to misuse people's stuff. I wouldn't want to do that, because they work very difficult on it. They work very hard on it, and yeah, so that would be bad. So do you guys prefer a more, what kind of soundtrack do you guys prefer? Do you prefer the in-game stuff, or just some extras that I pick whatever it is that's playing right now? I mean, if it's the same, then you can just go, guys, seriously. What other options? Doesn't help that I'm getting totally distracted by the bees that are outside. Sounds like some kind of horror novel, or have you guys read The Yellow Wallpaper? I sound like that lady at The Yellow Wallpaper, going, what are bees? Maybe I'll become a bee. Oh no. So, yeah, I figured out how to adjust things to a different height. You use the 9 and the 0 keys on, that are above your QWERTY keyboard stuff that are above all the letters. And I think 0 lowers things and 9 raises them, so that's a very helpful little trick. There's a bunch of things that I'm still learning about building in this game, so it's really neat. These rooms up here just took a very long time, just because this house is so very small. I wanted to make sure I got as much out of all of these rooms as I possibly could. So I had one master bedroom type thing for the for Don Lithari, and Katrina Caliente. Gosh, I cannot talk today. Like, talking is difficult. Words, what are they? I don't speak words. I don't know words. This room right here is the master bedroom for, I guess there are 2 master bedrooms. This one's for the Goths, Mortimer and Bella. They get to stay in this room. Poor Alexandra, she's stuck in the little cupola. She's in the little insane room. No, they locked me in solitary. don't know, maybe she started growling at people one day, or I have this story in my head where Alexander, as part of his whiz kid aspiration, was mixing up some potions, and then bam, he made this potion that exploded everything, and then he became a girl. Ew. I mean, he didn't figure out how to undo it, so he's stuck there. No. He doesn't seem to care too much. No, she doesn't care. But then, strange signs started appearing. Alexandra, as she is now called, started being weird in some way, so they had to lock her in a little room without any doors. I mean, she was like pushed through one of the windows or something. Then the windows were sealed shut. Now she has to while her days away up there, using the sink as her only source of the hygiene. That's actually pretty creepy, isn't it? The things that I do. That's just realizing how messed up that is. This is like putting putting your best friend in an attic. Like that part of Wuthering Heights. I don't want to spoil it. Okay, but this is like a little spoiler. There's one man that the protagonist is either, it might have been Jane Eyre. I think it might have been, actually, not Wuthering Heights. It's one of those. One of the books by the Bronte sisters. Guy, he locked his wife in the attic. The guy that's the love interest. That is absolutely insane. I was like, oh, what's going on? What's this wailing? Is this place haunted? Like, no, dude locked his wife in the attic. Dude. There's like no proper response to that, but dude, what is wrong with you? Hell. Guess they didn't know a lot back then. I don't know. I ended up extending this room right in here and making it bigger. This was the Caliente's little bedroom suite. You know, and a lot of this was seeing how tiny I could make things, and so I wanted to be sure to fit everything that I possibly could into one of these little rooms up here. I mean, it is a dollhouse, so rooms are kind of small. Yeah, that's the thing I've been doing a lot of lately, is making very small rooms. Trying to fit everything I could in them. Mostly because a lot of the lots are way smaller. In The Sims 3, you had several huge lots available in a single world, and a few smaller lots too. And Newcrest doesn't... I mean, just... The Sims 4 in general, the lots feel way smaller, and it's like there's way less to work with. So you've gotta Be careful about what you do. How much stuff you put in. Poor Alexandra. I'm gonna have to think of something she started doing. Gosh, I should get a screenshot of that. Of her just hanging out in the attic. Yeah, I don't think I should make episodes this long again. I'm gonna have a great time finding music for this. I mean, it's hard to find 1 or 2 songs that really fit the mood, but if you have to find a dozen, oh boy. Probably going to have to do just a catch-all little music thing that says music Incompetech from Incompetech.com. The music from one source per video if I can help it, just so I don't have to do a ton of citations. There's a couple portraits up here, and these are where the rest of the family will sleep, in these little beds up here. This is a full house. It's full of 8 sins, so it's very cozy, to put it mildly. And when I made the kitchen, I couldn't even fit all the chairs I needed into the kitchen. So there's only 6 chairs in there, not 7. I mean, Alexandra's on her own. She can use the cooler. It's a magical cooler where food just appears in it and she can chow down from there. I didn't add a sink this time because I figured they needed the counter space, and there's a sink in the bathroom right next to it. I mean, I could have gotten rid of the bathroom there, but I don't know, I like there being a lot of bathrooms in a house. Probably because I'm so used to being in a house with a bathroom for everybody. Like, the house I live in, there's 3. Well, 2.5 technically, if you're gonna use the little real estate term. So if we're home after a very long car trip, we don't have to fight. We don't have to wait in line. We can just go yonder, and then everything is hunky-dory and a-okay. Really like this little place under the stairs. I'm glad I found a way to utilize it. I like utilizing little spaces like that, where just putting little extra nooks and crannies to hang out. I'm surprised I fit as much stuff in here as I did with how small this house is. I find it's a lot easier to fill up smaller spaces than it is to do bigger ones, just because with big ones, there's not that there always needs to be something in every little corner. There doesn't always need to be a whole bunch of stuff, but it's harder to fill it up and have it feel right. So I did a little bit of terrain painting out here and added, those patent trees. This time I added a couple of trees on top of each other because I thought it made the branches look a bit fuller, and if you rotate them the right way, they look like a single tree. So that's really good. I like the landscaping here. I think it's about as fancy as it needs to be. Actually, I added some actual rose bushes too in some spots. Yeah. Eventually I put this wishing well in there. Never played with the wishing well before. Boy, was I in for a shock when that when the wishing well, I'm not gonna spoil it. You'll have to either look ahead in this video, because I'm not sure how much of the actual game I recorded, how much gameplay I did. I mean, it might be totally cut out by the end. But, you know, you'll have to go and look at my little blog to find out what happened when I used the wishing well. And there it is. There's the house. And we're gonna do a few quick little screenshots just so you can take a good look at this and appreciate it. After I put in some benches over here. You need benches. You need benches to have your Sims rest their weary behinds. I always had intended for those porches to have some kind of use. Yeah, so if you liked or enjoyed this game, please don't forget to leave a like or a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Here's the workroom I made that you didn't get to see earlier. Close-up of the dining room. A Sim's eye view of the kitchen. I like how you can just look straight through there. And there's the house. See you later!